Good morning, YouTube. What's going on, guys? We are out here with the 1987 Jeep Comanche that we just recently picked up. Today's goal is to try to get this guy running, or at least seeing what we can do to try to get it running. I'm going to start off by cleaning up all of these acorns and all of this stuff that's here in the engine bay. Just kind of go through it with the shop vac, clean all of this stuff up, and then from there we have to sort through this ground, this janky ground. They've got like one down there on the bottom of the block and then one right here on the side of the block. They don't have a ground to the chassis for the battery. So there's a few things that we need to go over before we start cranking on it, but that's the name of the game today. Let's see if we can't get this thing at least moving under its own power. Got the battery tray all cleaned up, cleaned out the air box all around that area. I went ahead and made a few new grounds. So I got one coming off the battery here to the chassis. I've got another ground going down to the block. Kind of hard to see, but you can see it right there. I've got that guy, and then I've got a secondary ground here on the block, along with the head ground coming off the frame, or the unibody there. And then it's bolted right there. So I've got those grounds. What I did was went ahead and pulled the signal cable off the starter solenoid, which is down here. So if you guys watch me click the power coming off the battery, it'll crank. As you guys saw, I've got the cap off here. Went ahead and cleaned my rotor button here. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down everything inside of the cap, because if you can see, it looks pretty gross in there. You see all that corrosion? So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe all of that with some sandpaper real quick, and then reinstall this guy and see if we can get some spark. Well, after spending an hour or so out here trying to get this guy to get some spark, we are not having any luck. I'm starting to think that it's the actual ignition module that has gone bad. There is a possibility that the crank position sensor has gone bad, but just looking at the plug difference, the wire difference, the looming difference, this was obviously replaced at one point in time. This could be 5 years old, 3 years old, could be even a year old, but it does look fairly new to me. And so does the actual ignition coil. This looks, you know, a couple years old. This being made in Mexico, and then the actual module being made in France. And then you can see the name Bendix. That's the same company that makes the ECU. So this has got to be the original ignition module. If it's not the original, it's the second to the original. I mean, maybe it was late 80s, like 89, 90 that it was replaced, or maybe it was replaced in the mid 90s. But I don't think that ignition module is any good. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where I'm going. I did check the wiring harness. I found some electrical tape here, but it is a factory crimp, where they've crimped this down into one wire for the plug. The plug itself looks good. There's no cracks, there's no damages, there's no frays. The pins are good. Same thing with her. You see the back of the sensor, or the plug, excuse me. They look good, they look golden. So I don't think I'm having any issues as far as that goes. I'm really thinking it's the module. So I went ahead and got one on order. I'm probably just going to buy a new ignition and ignition module at once, just for the peace of mind to know that it's done and over with. It's like 140 some odd bucks on Summit or Jeep Hut. I think I can even still get this module from Advance Auto. I think they were wanting 70 or 80 bucks for it. But either way, that's going to get replaced. We'll get that thrown in there, and then while I'm at it, I'll throw some new plugs in this thing because they were disgusting. I cleaned this one up just a little bit just to see if I could get spark, and again, still no luck. While I was messing around, I did clean up the cab just a little bit, and when I was just digging around, I did pull out the ECU, which is just right up in here. You guys can see, and you see Bendix, see it on the side? So this is obviously the original ECU that had to be the original ignition module. So, but I actually vacuumed up a little bit. I got all this rust and nonsense out of here, cleaned all that jazz up, and just, you know, just making it a little bit cleaner for me to work in. But that's kind of where we're at with this, guys. I'm going to get those parts in. We'll drop them in, reinstall them, and then we'll get back to the grind, the hustle here, and see if we can't get it to get some spark. And then once we know we have spark, I really want to hear it chief off and run a little bit on starter fluid. Man, I can't talk, dude. And then after that, we'll go and we'll drop the tank. I was going to drop the tank today, but I figured, well, let me just hold off for right now just to be safe, because I don't want to open this thing up and then just have it hanging out in my shop or in the truck bed exposed to the elements. And that's just something that we can do at a later date. So that's kind of where we're at with this, guys. As soon as those new parts show up, I will definitely fill you guys in and see if we can't get this thing running. What's going on, guys? We are back at it. We've actually got the Comanche here in my house. You guys saw the most recent update of, unfortunately, me selling my 240, but we've replaced the 240 with a Jeep. It's kind of like where my heart is, okay, guys? I'm a big Jeep guy, so. Anyways, I picked up a new ignition module. So here's the old one in the box, and my lovely girlfriend has been kind enough to help me work on it. So here's the old one, and Jennifer got the new one installed. So we've got the new one installed there, the new ignition module on top of what I think to be a newer coil. We just went ahead and fired it off. For some reason, we still can't get it to fire, to turn over with the key, so I've got the power probe here. We've been putting 12 volts to the starter relay there, or excuse me, the starter solenoid, and we're getting it to give us a little bit of spark, and I think right now we're gonna go ahead and try to see if we can't fire it up for the first time. So let me set you guys down here. You're probably gonna be kind of a distance away from it. I forgot my tripod, so don't judge me. All right. You ready, power probe lady? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Ready? Yep. Okay, try it. Alright, so we are hearing it fire over, but unfortunately we can't get it to stay running on the starter fluid. I don't know if that's going to be something related with the engine currently, and you guys are hearing that little, like, what sounds to be like a bunch of beads being dropped inside of a jar. It's like, I don't know what that noise is. Kind of concerns me. Hopefully we don't have a spun bottom end, because we obviously bought this thing, you know, not running in this condition. So one step closer. Let's see if we can't get some fuel to this guy. I went ahead and actually dropped the tank, as you guys saw just a second ago when I was back here. The tank is dropped. The fuel pump assembly has definitely seen better days. So that's an obvious reason as to why I didn't get any fuel. Look at all that rust. Yeah, so that's pretty obvious. So I don't know if the tank needs to be replaced completely. The tank seems to be in okay shape. There's a little bit of rust inside of it, but the fuel pump assembly and the hanger itself needs to be replaced, or at least OSFO down with a new pump on it to see if we can get it to run. But at least we heard it fire off once. We're gonna see if we can figure out if we can plumb some fuel to it to actually get it to run. So give us a few minutes and see what we can't come up with. Okay guys, we're back from the part store. I picked up some NGK copper plugs for the 4-liter here. They didn't have any champions or anything on hand. Whatever the OEM stuff that they throw in there, NGKs will work just fine. Also picked up another can of ether, so that way we can see if we can't get this thing to run on the starting fluid. They did not have any, well, they had inline pumps, but the inline pump only provides 6 to 7 PSI, and the Comanche is going to need at least 21 to 31 to run. So I ordered a new fuel pump itself with the little rubber like mount here, and I'm going to try to clean up that sending unit here and the hanger. So hopefully that'll do that, but we're going to go ahead and get these plugs installed, and from there we're going to go ahead and see if we can run it on ether for at least, you know, 30 seconds or so. All right guys, take 2. It's not going to start, it's not going to create spark if we don't put the key in the ignition. So that'll probably help us. Now I've dumped like 10 pounds of freaking ether in there. Cool, all right. New plugs are in. We're gonna see if we can get it to chief off on some starter fluid. I was like, it just ran. All right, here we go. the Bendix kicked out and then kicked back in. Do it without the power probe. All right, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled about that sound though in that engine. That really concerns me. If we could get it to stay running, I'd be able to tell better. Sorry, neighbors. I apologize. Sweet. Well, it runs. I'm hoping that was some valve lash, you know, some lifter ticking because it's been sitting. It hasn't gotten a ton of oil up there. Though I have cranked it over a few times to get oil circulating, and I have checked the oil. The oil looks freaking phenomenal in it, but that noise was a little concerning. You guys can see that's nice and brown. I mean, it could be a bit worse, but doesn't smell like gas or anything. At least we know the engine runs, so there's a plus. Cool. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
You just turn it on. Hit the red button.
And cut.
Okay, guys, we're gonna attempt to see if it'll move under its own power on ether. I don't know if I have that much faith in it, but we'll give it a shot. Hopefully you stay there. All right, are you ready, Jennifer?
I am ready.
Foot on the brake.
Yep.
Hold on, battery. Ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
All right, put it in gear.
I just went into drive.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay, bump it up into neutral. All right, you there?
Yep.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Put it back in neutral?
Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
Alright, give it a little gas and put it in drive.
Give it gas?
Yeah, give it gas. Alright, put it in reverse. While you're giving it a little gas. Well, it's moving under its own power.
It is.
We're out of ether, guys. So short-lived. All right, hang on in there.
Okay.
Oh, let off the brake,
It's in reverse. Should I put it in neutral?
please.
Okay.
Uh-oh. All right. I'm gonna need your help.
Come on, Callie, get to pushing.
Was it funny that you
It
were
was
moving?
funny, yes.
It started knocking. That's fuel knock from it not getting enough
Oh,
fuel.
okay.
Yeah, so I think the engine's fine. All right. Give her a good old push. Push it by the tire. It helps.
Oh, the tire?
Yeah, if you. There you go. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Perfect. All right. You want to hop over here and put it in park?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll roll, but. All the way up with it. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Huh?
We moved, Callie.
We just gotta get some fuel pressure behind it, baby girl, and we can drive it around with no seats and holes in the floorboard.
Woo.
Woo. Well, guys, she moves under her own power.
Woo.
Cheers. Some mules for us. I appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna go ahead and get the pump, like I said, on order. Get this down to the house. I'll clean that hanger up, clean the tank out, and see if we can't get this guy dropped back in, reassembled, and then see if it'll run on its own fuel. I definitely think the engine was leaning out a bit there on the ether, and then you heard that that obnoxious fuel knock there. I definitely think it wasn't, you know, getting enough fuel. So hopefully getting the pump in there will resolve that issue, and we can actually drive it to the end of the driveway, and then maybe back up the driveway, because we can't go far without seats. So there's Jennifer's seat right there, the nice cooler. Thank you, babe, for helping me. I hope you had fun.
I did.
She's got her Jeep Comanche here. We impulse bought this guy, and my deal with her was to help me work on it and get it going, so that way she can maybe get a kayak or something loaded up in the back and take it down to the, I don't know.
Down to the river.
Yeah, one of those up Heckscher somewhere over there. But that is that, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next upload. Later.
I'm always in the doghouse.